Don't believe your thoughts. Important lesson. We can't look very deeply when we believe all of our thoughts. And that invites a question. What is it like to live as a person or be as a person? What kind of experience is that when we're not believing in our thoughts as they arise and pass away? So it's a kind of superpower that we can switch our attention we can switch where we give value from the thoughts that are arising and the compulsive behavior to the experience of breathing. And in that way, we detach from thoughts, our own thoughts. We can also detach from the thoughts of other people as well when we practice like that. When we give a special importance with our attention to the breathing that's happening. You know, the breathing is keeping you alive, so we might have the idea that like that's not interesting or that's not fun or that's not important or that's not what I want, that's not what I'm interested in, to give special attention to the breathing. And yet the breathing is actually how the body is able to be alive right now and to stay alive. So whether or not you give special attention to it, it is very valuable and very important in your life. Now, is it more important than thinking? This is maybe a good question to ask. Is the experience of breathing more important than breathing? Is an experience of breathing more important than thinking? Is an experience of thinking more important than breathing? You should ask yourself that, because something that's helped me more than anything else to stay engaged and involved is to live a meaningful life. And if we're constantly giving our attention to what is less meaningful, such as whatever random thoughts come into our head, and we're rarely giving our attention to what is literally keeping us alive, we may not have a very good connection or relationship with real meaningfulness. Just kind of this appearance of meaningfulness in stimulation or in excitement. Try to not be excited right now, for example. It's a really important skill to practice, to know how to not seek excitement. Because yes, excitement can be fun, excitement can be, having a blast, having a few drinks, having the time of our lives, but excitement is also in the realm of a trauma. And if we have that tendency to seek excitement, to seek some exciting experience, some special experience. But in the Buddhist field, we're not seeking excitement. We're not looking for something exciting. So being here is to not look for something exciting. And how do we sustain that? How do we stay in a space like that? Well, we contact, we touch, we feel into what is meaningful. The heartbeat is meaningful. The breath, the breathing is meaningful. It's more meaningful than all of the random thoughts that are going on all the time. And as Western people especially, we're really kind of thought demons. We're thought monsters. Because of the Coca-Cola, because of the McDonald's, because of Tom Cruise. Whether he's a good man or a good actor or whatever this or that is not what I'm talking about. Just a presentation of seeking excitement, a presentation of seeking identity, and a presentation of taking refuge in identity based in story. When we take refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, when we take refuge in our breathing, when we take refuge in mindfulness of the way that it is already right now, where is the identity in the story? Where can you find an identity in a story in this experience of breathing? You have to be careful with thinking your way through these things because most of it can only be understood experientially or intuitively or according to the gut. You can't, just like you can't digest food with your opinions, you can't digest food with your ideas, you can't digest food with your intellectual calculations. This feeling into the path also is more a matter of your experience, your intuition. It's not thinking about things and thinking about it in a certain way and feeling comfortable that you think about it in a certain way. It's not really about that. That can really limit our progress, our development. And when we rely so much on thinking, it means that our thinking can pull us around all the time. And we don't want to be pulled around by our thinking. We want to be, um, as practitioners, as people on the path to enlightenment, want to have this relationship with simplicity, stability, and the contentment or the relationship with the alreadiness of this moment. and the fineness of the alreadiness of this moment. And when we can develop trust with that, which, it's up to you if that's important, the fineness of the alreadiness of this moment, then we'll be able to key into, who's a teacher of that or who else has a relationship with that. If we only have a relationship with the, the complicated thinking, then we'll seek out other people who primarily work in the realm of complicated thinking. And even the digestion of food is you can't use complicated thinking to digest your food better. Yeah, complicated thinking. Exactly. Retreat, meditation, mindfulness. This is it. Learning to decouple from the importance that we give to complicated thinking and rushing around, going over here and over there. The many Dharma doors of morning time are immediately present upon a single moment of wakefulness. You may think that if the mango dog drank still water, he would get not only 1 million aura points, but would also get the enlightenment. But in fact, to get the enlightenment, we must focus on dana, the simplicity and the joy of giving. We must focus on sila, the simplicity and joy of being careful in our conduct, in our normal, everyday, daily life. Bhavana should be, this meditation cultivation should be done as a part of a community with a teacher. It's not about striving to get a bunch of wisdom, a bunch of, 1 million wisdom points. But settling into the fineness of what is already here and now. Bring the mind home to the body. Bring this life, this world of seeking and chasing right now home to a body of openness to what is already. And really bring it home to the body. Bring it home to the solidity of the body. Bring it home to the gravity of the body, the groundedness of being right where the body is right now. Not some special experience, not some ideal situation, not even some hope, but connecting all those wires dangling from our complicated thoughts to the wholeness of the body, here and now. Grounded, landed, solid and stable, upright, home, already. That sense of desire is pulling us out, pulling us towards something, pulling us towards some ideal, some experience, some situation. Bring that pulling out, bring that going out home. Two major problems: underestimating oneself and overestimating oneself, and making equal. meaning we say that our path or our experience or our potential, our situation is equal to that other person. Those people who are in a very low situation, they may be surprised by the possibility here to develop, to cultivate, to get to a higher level. And those people in a seemingly high position, they may be very, very surprised to realize how stupid they are, how ignorant they are, how clouded in darkness they are. And they may never realize that. When we fall into this view of being equal, it leads us to act crazy because it's based in this view of, oneself is a big enough problem, isn't it? And now you've got two selves, two separate self entities that you're saying are equal to each other. No, you are not equal to me. No you, no me, no self. If you can be at peace with yourself, if you can be at peace with what is already now, then you don't need to worry about not obtaining enlightenment. Right? You don't need to worry about if this situation will turn out the way that you'd like it to. You don't need to worry because right now you can experience freedom from fixation on thoughts, on a thought. We are addicts. We're addicted. We're addicted to praise. We're addicted to status. We're addicted to pleasure. We're addicted to profit. So to be here, to stay in this space, is to say, I am an addict, or I am suffering. I am compulsively seeking, compulsively chasing, and it's out of control. So this is a stopping point. And there's such a sense of wholesomeness for an addict like you, like me, to stop. And I like to stop. I appreciate stopping without any contrivance, without any pretense, you know. I mean, there's a little bit of contrivance here, a little bit of pretense here, but mainly I don't want anybody to be teaching me how to think. I want someone to be directing me to stop, the way to stop, the way to see through the fog of self, this idea of self, this thought of someone. There's no someone here. And to cultivate, to develop this quality of mind, this quality of heart, this quality of being, gives us the chance to share that with the others who are in these states of suffering, and to share it with ourself, the appearing self, when that apparent self within us is in this state of suffering, in this state of confusion, in this state of stress. It can be said that there's no chill here because this is a state, or this is a place of no temperature, of no measurement. Right? We were talking yesterday that the moon is beyond measurement. The moon is beyond measurements. There are techniques, okay? It's kind of like making a pasta, making a stew, Tristan, Sabina. So, what do you need to make a stew? Okay? You need a container and you need water. Well, we've got a container here. And we've got all the water that we need. This body, no water, you're not going to be listening to anything. Hearing requires water. Hearing requires water. Make that as a bumper sticker. Actually, I have a monk friend, Brother Mountain, over at Deer Park Monastery. He said he would make me some calligraphy, and maybe that's a good one. Hearing requires water. So, make a stew. We need a pot, container. We need water. What's the other main ingredient that we need? Does anybody know? To make a stew, something nourishing, something delicious, something hearty, something sustenance, to sustain, to come across this true path, heat. So I am the burner. This is the burner. And no, heat, but also I thought that as well, loving kindness. All right, you can use loving kindness as well. Heat, and most people can't take the heat. Let's be real. But no heat, no stew. And they can put all the ingredients they want into it. They can get the finest ingredients from India, from Italy, from Japan, from the South Korean ginseng. They can get all the finest ingredients that they want. They can put it in that pan with the water. No heat, no stew. How about that? So this is the heater. This is the burner. And it's not a matter of, what ingredients should we put into it. It's a matter of heating, getting the heat. The ingredients come along naturally, and the ingredients come along according to generosity, according to blessings. So if you want better ingredients, don't call Papa John's. Give, donate, volunteer, serve. In the way that is natural for you, in the way that flows out of your current experience base, your gut, your intuition, your heart, not the intellectual mind. The intellectual mind is going to send you to some Coca-Cola uh, charity, tax evasion scheme. So this isn't about evading taxes. Just in the same way that it's not about buying something, getting something that you want. It's just about giving. And in that, you will have more blessings, or you will have more openings to the way of seeing through, seeing beyond attachments. Then you will have more access to the Dharma doors that are everywhere. And yes, Buddhism, and yes, loving kindness, but no heat, no stew. It's just like how people consume content, how people even consume spiritual content. They click on the video waiting for, some statement or something to come to be expressed or given to them, right? Some excitement, some point of interest, some declaration. There's no heat in that. It's just ingredients on a dry pan, on a heatless stove, a pot of water without heat. So this is a matter of heat. It's not a matter of consumption. And yes, it is a matter of giving. It is a matter of sacrifice to stay in the Dhamma hall, to sit meditation. Martial arts like karate can help with enlightenment. They can maybe help you win a fight. But they say even that is not for sure. We're going to be going alms round soon. We're going to be going to beg in the streets soon. We live in a deranged society. We have a kind of we have um, a connection to derangement that, of course, we all have internally. You know, I have negative thought forms and those things as well, right? But uh, so we kind of see everything in this deranged or negative light very quickly, automatically. Laughter is joy. Laughter is happiness. Laughter is freedom. This is why it's somewhat important to, you know, as a layperson, as someone who's approaching the path sincerely, even if it's to get enlightenment, we have to be careful about overly fixating on the meditative state of mind by ourselves. As a layperson or someone who's working more independently, um, we have to be more humble. And that means we have to be more generous, more like a donor, more like a volunteer, more like a student. And we have to be more aware of the precepts. Because when we practice meditation or when we start to look into deep Buddhist philosophical concepts, this can turn up the heat very strongly in the mind. We can burn our stew. So, you know, the best stews in the world probably have a bottom that's burned, right? A layer of burnt. But that should happen over time. And when it happens quickly, we may have some unnecessary side effects and unnecessary wasted energy. And I'm a big proponent of identifying unnecessariness so that we don't waste energy. No need to waste. There's enough waste already, right? So we go slow, we work with a teacher according to our gut and intuition and, you know, with guidance. And, you know, we experiment. It's not going to be idealistic. It's going to be multifaceted. It's going to be intricate. It's going to be difficult. It's going to have plenty of imperfection in it. Yes, precisely. That's a good way to say it. Very good, Tristan. So, step by step. Oh, a gift. How wonderful. Release, relax everything. It's not about getting somewhere, not about doing something, not about being someone. It's not about doing something in a particular way. It's not about comparing and contrasting. It's not about a particular person. not about a particular feeling in the body or a particular thought in the mind.
New practice or new job, we are difficult to make balance between normal job and new job. In this way, there may be side effect for sure. If we are doing the same, not new things to do, not new job to do, there will be no much problem. Whenever we start that new practice or new job, new road, there will be side effect because we cannot make balance. We need to emphasize on the new practice. That is natural. That is not strange. We need to detach. Only when we become skillful in meditation, we can there will be balance between wisdom and memory. We are trying to get enlightenment or wisdom. That's why we are not much relying on memory. If we are relying on memory, we are far away from wisdom. For the animals, they don't have much wisdom or intelligence. They have memory. They are using the mind. Most of the people are using the mind, especially for the memory, not for the intelligence or wisdom. Now we are practicing meditation with me. We emphasize wisdom, enlightenment. That's why we may need to detach from memory. Sometimes we may reject memory because not skillful to be using only. If we are paying more attention on memory, we are rejecting intelligence or wisdom. That is our habit. So if we are paying more attention on wisdom, we may reject memory. That used to happen like this for nearly everyone. because most of the people cannot make balance between two different quality. Memory is different quality. Wisdom is another quality. But we used to reject. We used to attach only on one. That's why we will reject naturally the other. So the more we emphasize on wisdom or enlightenment, the more we are rejecting the memory. But we must try. It is because of attaching on memory, attaching on wisdom. If we can detach from wisdom, we must try to get wisdom, but we must not attach on wisdom. If we attach on wisdom, we may reject. If there is attachment, there will be ignorance. In this way, we may reject the memory. In this way, it used to happen for most of the meditators, including me. That's why I really find, for most of the thing, I will not try to remember. I will not use memory for small thing. I will use memory only for the most important thing. Most of the time, I use wisdom more than memory. My followers, especially the nun, they can use memory. They cannot have wisdom. This is teamwork. I'm not, most of the time, I'm traveling with many people. That's why they will use memory. I will use wisdom. In this way, we can go together in the best way. If I'm alone, I need to use both memory and wisdom together. What if traveling from India to US, I need to remember the flight time, the day. If not, I cannot come. But if I'm traveling with other people, I don't need to remember everything because the other will take care of the situation. But sometimes I forget my handset also. But I don't find. I try to detach from losing my phone. Losing means losing in the mind, not not physically. Physically, that phone may be somewhere. I don't worry. Even if I forgot at the airport, I don't worry because I use the power of good deeds, not to lose the phone. I believe I can find in the future. I can get back the phone. Sooner or later. In this way, I don't worry. I will give information to my followers or to the authorized person, and then they will try to find my phone, and then I can get it. If I feel worried, I may lose the phone. Because worry is not good. Worry is bad deeds. Because I'm not taking the belongings of the other, that's why I may not, I believe I may not lose my belongings by the others. This is my protection. Keeping precept is the protection, not to lose my belongings and my meditation center. My followers also. I'm not grasping, I'm not occupying the followings of the other. I allow everyone to come and go freely by themselves. And in this way, it will be the same for me, for my belongings. If I don't allow, they cannot take my belongings. the same cause and effect. This is the way I choose in doing good deeds. So I forgot because I'm very busy. That's why I forgot, especially my phone or my bag, my bag. So, but I don't worry. I just trying to be mindful, and then I can forget. I can remember. I by myself, or even if I cannot remember, I may not lose my belonging because of keeping preset and solving the problems of many people who lost their belongings because of their mistake. But I try to solve their problem. Many people are in danger to lose their shelter, their money, their belongings. In this way, I'm also trying to solve their problem all the time. Just by losing my belonging is not a problem because I can handle very well. That's why I can open more and more new meditation center. If I cannot handle, I will lose everything. I'm handling by Dharma, lyrics, Buddhist. So if you don't remember, detach, and then you must believe, and you can get back. Or even if you lose, you dare to lose. We cannot say for sure in the beginning. Only when we are practicing many times like this, just control the mind, not belongings, not the phone, not the money, not someone, just controlling the mind to be stable and pure, not to worry, not to be afraid of. In this way, we will not lose our belongings. Most of the time, maybe 90%, maybe 99%, like that. The more we are skillful in doing good deeds, the more our wish will be fulfilled. If we don't want to lose our belongings, there will be no losing. For some small thing, we don't care. If so, we don't wish we have no wish for small thing. Maybe losing or not losing, no problem. This is also right understanding. For small thing, I don't care. I detach. So whatever happens is okay. But for big thing, I care not to lose. Not to happen big accident. For the Power Center USA, one of the Americans who stay in Borden Park, they sue the Power Center because they fight each other. But that's why he sued to the center. Actually, the center is not responsible, but they are staying in the Power Center. But the case already solved. We win, and then we have to pay only 10,000 for lawyer fee. Not much, not much expect, because I'm solving that kind of problems of the other many times in Myanmar. People in Myanmar, they will make accident, they cannot pay back for the expense, so I have to pay. Not only my follower, but also for the stranger. If they cannot solve, they ask me help. So if I can, I will solve. If they are stupid, I cannot solve. But for me, I'm doing good deeds freely, even to the stranger. This is right to do. I choose to do like this. I choose to do good deeds beyond limit. Most of the people are doing good deeds with limit. That's why they can do what the other can do. They cannot do what the other cannot do. For me, I can do many things beyond the limit. Because of solving this kind of problem like this, by relying on the mark. This is just example. I have been solving many problems using the land, monastery. Sometimes they must go to the jail if they cannot pay the money like that. So I have to pay or to go to the jail. They may use their shelter, land, if they cannot pay back for the debt. So I have to pay back. Not big amount in Myanmar. Many poor people, the land is cheap, but they cannot pay back for the debt. That's why they are going to lose their land. So I have to solve them. I have to pay back for them. In this way, they don't lose their belonging. In this way, I'm not losing my belongings also. The same cause and effect. Because I'm doing not to lose the belongings of many people as much as I can, my belongings will not lose. This is cause and effect. I got what I give to the other. If I'm not doing like this, my belongings may lose, for sure.
ဆရာတော်ကတစ်ခါကြာရင်အဲ့လိုမျိုးပေါ့နော်သူတို့မြောက်ကတရားလာထိုင်တယ်ဗျdetach လုပ်တာတပည့်တော့ detach ကအများအား detach လုပ်နေတဲ့အခါကျတော့ detach လုပ်တဲ့အခါကျတော့တခါတတိမထားတဲ့အခါကျရင်သူတို့ဘယ်လိုပြောမလဲမသိဘူးနော်သူတတိမထားနေတဲ့အခါကျလို့ရှိလို့ရှိရင်တတိပူသုံးရတာပေါ့ဗျာတတိပူမသုံးလို့ရှိရင်တပည့်တော့ဘယ်သွားနေလဲဘာလုပ်နေလဲအခါကျမေ့သွားတာဒီလုံရင်းနဲ့ကိုမိသွားတာပေါ့တပည့်တော့သွားရင်းနဲ့ဘယ်ရောက်သွားမှမသိဘူးအဲ့ကိုသွားနေတယ်ဥတီရတော့မှန်တယ်အဲ့လိုသွားရင်းနဲ့လေဒါပေမဲ့တတိပူထားရတာဟုတ်တယ်အဲ့ဒါကိုတတိကိုဘယ်လိုတတိနဲ့ attach နဲ့မတူဘူး
တခါလေကျတော့ဘယ်လိုပြော
ဘယ်လိုသူတို့ပြောရမလဲ
သွားလိုက်တဲ့ကိစ္စမျိုးတက်လို့လည်းပဲဆရာတော်ကနေရာတစ်တွေရောက်သွားလမ်းမပေါ်တော့မှမျက်စိလဲလေဆန်ရလေပေါ့လိုမျိုးတွေ
ဟုတ်တယ်သူတို့မရှင်းပြတယ်ပြောတယ်သူတို့အဲ့လိုမျိုး
If we rely on wisdom, not normal wisdom, the wisdom of Buddha, the power of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha is beyond limit. That's why if we are relying on Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, sometimes we are doing what we don't understand. We are going the way we don't understand, but only at the end we can understand. Oh, that's great. I have been doing like this. For some of the good deeds, I don't understand what is the benefit, but I dare to do, and then I got the benefit, and then I can understand. In this way, I can understand many things. By doing good deeds practically. If I dare not do good deeds, what I don't understand, my intelligence and ability will not much develop. If no one is doing it, I will do it. If that is right to do. Most of the people are doing with limit. They cannot go beyond limit. That's why I have to do beyond limit. In this way, I can learn a lot. I can solve many problems. This is not our own belonging. But for me, I use the power center for free. For many people can come and stay for free if they cannot stay in other center or monastery. In this way, I can stay for free in many places. This is cause and effect. So, if you are mindful, whether you understand or not, that is, what can happen in the future is not important. Just need to do good deeds with mindfulness, and then you can understand in the future. Sometimes I go in the wrong way, but I don't know where, but I can find a good place to establish meditation center like this. This is what of going in the wrong way. If I don't make mistakes, I cannot find the better place for a new power center like that.
So Father means something like no pain, no gain also.
Yes. No risk, no success. We must take risk. But most of the people dare not take risk. Because actually there's no risk. Buddha already did all kinds of good deeds by like this. That's why that is risk, because we don't understand. If we understand, there is no risk. That is right to do. This is normal. To suffer pain in doing good deeds. To sacrifice our life and belongings in doing good deeds. That is normal. More pain, more gain. That's why. Yeah, we can. When we come back, you can.
The last Dharma talk in San Diego just Saturday. I learned something from something new from your teaching, that after mindfulness and detachment, and then let it to the moment and like that, and that to one point this Sadhguru said that even you have the mind, the mind of knowing is knowing. You are mindfulness and detached. You let and detach all of them, even the mindfulness and the mind of knowing you are know. So at the if detach everything, then we'll have nothing to detach, nothing left in the mind, and that will be what? Emptiness or
That will be the power of mindfulness and detachment. Complete power of mindfulness and detachment will still remain. That is the end.
or the
No more ignorance and attachment. Only complete power of mindfulness and detachment. That is enlightenment.
the power itself.
Power, complete power.
So right now we're just on the way.
Yes,
Okay, yes.
we must continue practicing mindfulness and detachment continuously, and then finally, maybe even if this life or in the future life, we are sure to get enlightenment.
And one time, somebody talked about when we meditate, there's a state that the mind is very quiet, don't rest into that quietness because the mind will lead us to 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 the point that we don't know anything. We just let not wisdom, not clear mind, but will rest into something that's not good for the meditation. Could you please explain more a little bit more about that?
Just whatever whatever happened in our body and mind, detach. Mindful, sometimes mindful with detachment, sometimes detached with mindfulness. Sometimes mindfulness is the leader, detachment is the follower. Sometimes if you don't know, detach. Attachment is the cause of ignorance. Because of attachment, you don't understand. If you can detach, you can understand. If you can change your attachment on that knowing, there will be enlightenment. There will be wisdom about. There will be no more. If attachment still remain, you may stop at that stage. Your practice will not develop. If you can detach, your practice will develop again.
下面没有干嘛的，有房子，我还得干点。
So we go now for alms round to beg. Usually here we go to the farmers markets. And walking around to share the blessings of the practice with the people and receive donations. Give people an opportunity to give. If you have any questions from Sierra's Dhamma talk or just questions, you can ask them as well. I'll see if we can have someone to record the
Andy, can you open, please? There's a sangha, there's a nun. Come here. Come, Mike. Come. Mike? Yes.
You done? Me?
we can see the robes and the images and posters, and we may think, it seems like it's too much or it's an excess, but the statues, but really to stay with this practice and to stay with the path, we need so many supportive conditions and factors and reminders. So all of these are really useful for staying concerned with mindfulness and detachment, and staying concerned with looking deeply at our life and considering not just how we are benefiting ourselves, but how we're finding freedom instead of just seeking for personal benefit. And Sierra was talking there about, getting this final success, or this complete enlightenment, this complete freedom. And to do that, we have to detach from everything. Because everything that we are attached to becomes in one way or another a kind of chain that binds us, that weighs us down in this ocean of samsara, this ocean of illusion and confusion and desire and fear.